Hey guys, Andy Harwood with the Vaz+Harwood team here. This was a real quick video just to let you know the broad strokes of how appraisals work, what an appraisal is and where this is in the transaction. And do you need to worry about it? Do you not need to worry about it? What's going on with appraisals? Okay, so an appraisal is a value assessment of the house that the lender is going to order, assuming you have a finance transaction like most of them are. If it's a cash deal, you don't need an appraisal, okay? It's the lender who's going to send an appraiser to the house after we have an accepted purchase agreement, and sometimes, depending on the lender, they'll do it after we have a fully negotiated inspection contingency too, because they want to make sure that the deal's moving forward and they're not charging you for an appraisal because you're going to pay for it a few $100s until they make sure that the deal's moving forward and everything's good with the inspection with you and all of that. So generally after the inspection, the next thing is the appraisal. And then the appraiser is going to go to the house independently. You're not going to be there. I'm not going to be there. They're just going to go through with a clipboard and they're going to do their appraisal. If it's a conventional loan appraisal, it's going to be pretty straightforward. And they're going to, in most cases, they're going to come back with a value that supports the purchase price. That's what they're looking for. That's what we're looking for. That's actually all we really care about is, did they find a value that supports the purchase price? And so in almost all cases, the appraisal isn't even something that you need to think about or worry about. Now, I said almost. Here's when we do need to worry about it. A couple of scenarios where we do need to worry about it. One is if it was one of those situations where we had multiple offers and it was one of those crazy markets where you needed to go up a significant amount in order to get the house because they had 10 offers or something like that, we might have advised you that either the appraisal may or may not come in for that, or we might have also had to say that we needed you to do a price guarantee, like a cash guarantee, along with the going up in price. So oftentimes, and hopefully we've explained this to you if this was the situation at the front end when you were making the offer, that if you're going to go $40,000 over the asking price in order to get your foot in the door to get the house, then the seller is going to be expecting you to say that if the appraisal comes in low, you'll cover the difference. So presumably you've known that on the front end, and hopefully the appraisal still finds the appraiser still finds the value for the higher price than listing price that was negotiated and agreed to, and then you don't have to bring that extra cash to the transaction. But the other time that we can be worried about appraisals is when there are condos and townhouses. And especially if we have to go above the asking price, even a smaller amount, let's say $5,000 or $10,000 over the asking price to get a condo or a townhouse, that's not too much to worry about. But even $10,000, I've had appraisals come in lower. When there was a hot market, multiple offers on a townhouse, our buyer went up 10 grand to get the property, and then the appraisal came in low. So whenever there's a townhouse or condo, especially if it's in a complex where there's a lot of different units in there where they can compare easily, very easy apples to apples comparisons, as opposed to single family houses that are all a little different, and it's more of an apples to oranges kind of thing, so then sometimes we can be worried if the appraisal will come in low or not come in low. So what happens if it does come in low? If we haven't put anything in the purchase agreement saying that you're going to bring the cash to cover the difference, if it comes in low, then we're going to either have to work out some kind of a compromise between you and the seller. Maybe the seller comes down in price a little bit and you bring a little bit more cash to make good on the transaction. and we'll just have to work out some kind of a compromise. But like I said at the front of the video, in most cases, the appraisal is really nothing you need to worry about, and if it is, we'll be talking about that on the front end. And the good news, the wonderful thing that can happen with appraisals, I'll just leave you with this, is oftentimes they come in high. So let's say the purchase price of the house was $300,000, and the appraiser comes back and says house is worth $305. Well, guess what? You just made, on paper at least, instant equity in the house. So that can be a great thing. And actually, I just want to talk really quick about two other types of appraisals that could happen in your transaction. One could be an FHA appraisal, and one could be a VA appraisal. So the FHA appraisal and VA appraisal, they're more than just the conventional appraisal, because they're going to be sending somebody who's not exactly a home inspector, but they're going to be more concerned, like FHA and VA financing loans. That appraiser is going to be worried about some things like if there's peeling paint, if there's a broken window that could be a safety thing, if there's a missing handrail on the steps, things like that. And they will write work orders so that the seller has to fix those items. So that can be something where the only time we're really worried about that is if there's a house that needs a little too much work and we've got a VA loan involved, and we just know that there's peeling paint and there's some deferred maintenance and things like that, and there are going to be work order things on this house. And so usually we can get through those. Almost every time we can get through those things, and the seller will fix it because they have to in order to close. But just understand, conventional financing, there could still theoretically be work orders, but most of the time, no, it's very simple, nothing to worry about. FHA and VA, we need to make sure the house that you're making the offer on is in good shape, which we'd want it to be anyway, but fixer-uppers are usually off the table for those type of loans just because they probably wouldn't make it through the appraisal. So I hope this information helps, and as always, I am here with any questions. Thank you.